Huh? Huh? Huh?
Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We are here today with Quantum Mechanix 1/6 scale The Nun from the movie The Nun. As always, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right. So one of the first things I am going to say is this is an absolutely fantastic figure. As you can see right off the bat, especially through the lens of this camera, I'm looking at it in person and through the lens thinking, man, has this thing got some scary presence. The face sculpt is probably one of the best I've seen in a long time. But, and there's a big but, unrelated to the figure, the movie The Nun is absolute crap. If you've seen that movie, I hope you're right there with me. It was a garbage movie. We have this fantastic character that you could have done some great justice with, could have scared the crap out of us, but man, it was bad. I think I would have rated that movie a 3.1 out of 10. And in fact, a side tangent, that whole James Wan Conjuring universe is just crap. Just please stop. Give us a reboot. Give us a hard stop on that stuff, James. I mean, focus on Aquaman. You're just not good. What was that last one? Mulligan or something? Just awful garbage that this guy's putting out. So, again, nonetheless, let's focus on the figure in front of us at hand, and that is Quantum Mechanix, The Nun. So, a couple things I'm just going to point off right off the bat is we have a wired... Oh, looks like it was almost like a cheek rub, like I wanted to touch your cheek. But we have a wired, what do we call this? I'm sure it has an official name, and it's horrible that I don't know it. I'm going to call it a hooded half cape. So I thought I would just zoom in here after that completely inappropriate comment about the hooded half cape. But again, yes, we have a wired, corner and lining around this whole thing, so you can do some posing with that. Little necklace, and focus in on, as I mentioned earlier, this amazing face sculpt. Now, there are two head sculpts that come with this. I'm going to see if I can fit this in shot at the same time here. So I'm going to drop this one down. All right, so here's the other face sculpt that came with it. Just really fantastic. The eyes, the veins, just the look is super menacing, and the details on this, even the texture of the skin, I thought was really fantastic by these guys. So just wanted to say kudos, because normally I am a naysayer about head sculpts unless it's a mask or something. So, man, they did some great justice to this thing, and it is genuinely scary, especially the main one. There's that. All right, and we have this pretty cool picture, cool artwork, and it's neat that they came with this stuff. However, it's pretty stupid. I don't know who the hell's going to tack this up in their DTOF on the background, like it's a picture on the wall or something. It just really doesn't make a whole lot of sense as far as accessories go, unless they're just trying to be cool. If I was making a diorama, that makes sense. It would be genius. However, I anticipate 1 out of every 200 of us are making a diorama, so this type of accessory makes no sense, especially if it's jacking up your price by another $10 or $15, which I anticipate it did. So, yeah. Some of the other fantastic features of this figure would be a branded stand. Quality of the stand is okay. It's kind of the old school, if anybody's familiar with Sideshow's old school Clone War type stands. Very thin type stand, but it's decent. Glad it came with it, and it's branded, so I can't complain too much. We have a lot of companies out there that are not even including stands, so the fact that Quantum Mechanix included this, kudos. Now, some of the ugly on this thing, right? For starters, the price is out of control. Hard to explain, but the feel of this thing and the body, it truly does feel like a figure that I would have got at a toy store or something like that. Scale of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm going to go ahead and really quickly put a Ghostface next to her. All right, now we have Ghostface and we have the Nun side by side. The reason I have this is I think the scale of the nun is severely off. When I watched the movie, and before I say that, keep in mind the nun is also on a stand. I have Ghostface just on his feet. So we're talking about another little bit of layer that would be reduced if we took that stand away, right? So she would be even shorter than what we're seeing now. So Ghostface, I don't remember who the killer was, but I can say that he wasn't a giant or anything like that. So it doesn't make any sense to think that he is a larger figure and that's why she's shorter. No, he was a regular person under the Ghostface mask. Again, forgot who the killer was. Forgive me. And I've watched The Nun recently. The Nun was the same size as the people that she was next to. She was not shorter than everybody. So I really got to say that the scale of this thing is off. And then if we're going to say that the scale is off, then the head sculpt and everything is a little bit off. Does it still fit in your horror collection? Yes. Can I still imagine her just a little bit shorter than everybody? Yes, but I can say that for the price point, the feel of it, and the scale that is severely off, I was most certainly disappointed. I would go as far as saying that it should be 15% larger, 10 or 15% larger, literally. If you can just take a little bar and pull it 10% and increase her size, it would scale perfectly with everything else. So that was one of my only knocks on this thing. Kick that to a side. I think that the tailoring and everything on it was fantastic. You have Ghostface next to it as a little contrast there, and we have simplicity in both of these guys, but it works. There's a couple layers to the nun. We have kind of the cape that falls on top of this here. We have a leather, actual real, pleather-ish leather belt that could deteriorate over time depending on your climate. And as I mentioned earlier, the little necklace that goes on there. But they did a fantastic job with the tailoring and the layers and the hood that falls on top of her. Not much to complain about there. All right, so let's go ahead and start to round this review out, slap a score on this thing. And as far as do I suggest it for your collection, for starters, yes, absolutely. Scale might be a little bit off, but if you haven't seen the movie, if you're not too anal on details like that, then it's not a huge thing. Like I said, we're only looking at 10 or 15% off, but the face sculpt makes up for it. It is genuinely a scary, super detailed, fantastic, one of the best face sculpts I've seen in a while. So again, kudos to Quantum Mechanix on that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and slap a score on this at KC Toys. The Nun by Quantum Mechanix. This one's actually rather high, given the fact that the scale is off. There's not much wrong with this thing. I'm going to go with an 8.3 out of 10. The scale is really one of the biggest knocks on this thing, but other than that, it's a simple figure, but it works. I like it. I enjoy it. I couldn't imagine selling this, and that is sometimes what goes into my gut and the feeling of this is, do I want to keep this? Does it have longevity? And yeah, the body underneath feels decent. The face sculpt, the tailoring, everything on it really exceeded my expectations when I got it. Scale, a little bit disappointed there, but other than that, this thing was great. So again, 8.3 out of 10, Quantum Mechanix, The Nun. That's it for us here at KC Toys. Let's try to do a little scary exit here today.
Huh?